Punter Rigoberto Sanchez has it teed up and ready to go. And we're off and running from Houston. Kickoff taken at the 3. This return makes it up to the 25. So here come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out is the second overall pick back in the 20th state. It's CJ Stroud.
It didn't take long for CJ Stroud to make an immediate impact into the NFL, and it didn't take long for me, Kate, to form an opinion that this guy is just different. He just processes the game quicker. Remember talking to Ryan Day on the practice field in Columbus, watching him in college, and he just alluded to that as well. It's the anticipation. It is knowing where everybody is and getting that ball out before any receiver will even break on a route. CJ was unique in that way, and that skill set has been a big part of his success.
Running for the first time with Joe Mixon. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10. On the ground again with Mixon. And he gets his offense forward to the 44-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next. Mixon on the toss. And he's brought down for a loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Well, it's not a long walk to the new spot, but it is a disappointing one to make. Instead of 3rd down, they're now defending 1st and 10. A fresh set of downs after that penalty. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Stroud. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Finding Collins. And he gets it through the midfield stripe and onto the Colts side of the field.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
Offense executing early. New set of downs at the 38-yard line. Stroud throwing here on 1st. Into the hands of Schultz. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. 2nd and 6 coming up here. A give to Mixon up the middle. And he's taken down on a short run that gets inside the 35. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4. Throwing is Stroud. Pass caught by Mixon. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Texans are going to have a 1st down.
This dude's just simply got a nose for the marker no matter how they get him the ball, Kate. Hand it to him, and he sniffs out that 1st down. Get it to him on a screen, and it's no different. He surges ahead and keeps this drive moving.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. On play action, here's Stroud. He has it at the 5! And in for the Houston touchdown! What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established and into top gear right here early on.
Fairbairn connects on the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead as he starts this year 1-for-1. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Has this at the 6. He's stopped on the return at the 27. So out come the Colts for their first offensive possession. Bringing them out to 4th overall pick in 2023 out of Florida, a super athlete at quarterback, Anthony Richardson.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that when Anthony Richardson came out of the draft out of Florida, he was the greatest all-around athlete we'd ever seen at quarterback. 240 pounds, running 4.4, jumping 40 inches. He was the envy of defensive ends and linebackers that couldn't put up those numbers. Now, it's taken all those athletic traits and squeezing them into the quarterback position, maximizing all that physical talent to become the superstar he can be.
And he runs into some big bodies and is stopped right at the line. They'll need 4 to convert now after no gain on 2nd down. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. That stop coming from Henry To'o. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 36. Gets this to Woods. And that will not be enough for a 1st down. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Trying to get it with the option. Oh, he drops a cut to the right sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains. They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. Chased out. And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Colts finish off their opening drive. It's an Anthony Richardson touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. Now we'll see the Houston offense for their 2nd drive of the contest. They're 1-for-1 so far to begin the new NFL season. Touchdown on their opening drive. Let's see if they have 2 for 2 in them. Now begin with a run by Mixon. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag.
Holding offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Running with Mixon out of the gun. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. They made it 3 yards on the tote. It'll bring up 2nd down. Stroud off the play fake. He lets a heater go deep, middle of the field. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
Here we go.
Here's Stroud. He's got him. That's Mixon. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
He specializes in salvaging broken plays out of the backfield, but even he couldn't get anything out of that one, Kate. That defense, they were all over it.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. 65 yards on the punt there. And the Colts will take over. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Play action with Richardson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Pretty even match in this first half, and you're just kind of waiting. Right? You just kind of try to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life. And when you get that sack, that can go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Finds his man, Downs. And he gets him around 6 there. Azeez Al-Shire that time on the tackle. So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. Not on the same page with his tight end. And that brings up 4th and long. The Colts ready for the punt. And no doubt he wants to get his season started with a good one here. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. Fair catch the signal, and he brings it in at the 23. We don't get a return out of that punt. And it's going to be Texans football. 1st down, Stroud. Completed to Collins. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. We're through 1 quarter of this opening weekend of football. Both teams neck and neck so far. We'll make our return to NRG Stadium after this. Welcome back. We'll begin the 2nd quarter with the Texans in possession. They've got a first to begin the frame. From the gun, Stroud. Schultz with the catch. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. Zaire Franklin there to make the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Blitz coming for Stroud. Collins there to grab it. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Jarvarius Ward brings him down. 3rd and just 2 to go. Out of the shotgun, a give to Mixon. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That's one of those plays, Kate, as an offense, it just sticks with you a little bit. It bothers you that you just can't convert on a very manageable down and distance. And on the other side, well, sure gives you some confidence defensively to get off the field.
The Texans set to punt. And he wants to hit his 2nd effort just as well as he hit his 1st. This is away, and once again, he's caught all of it. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. The Colts ready to take the field. Their first drive of the season, an uneventful one, led to a punt, so they'll try to get some new season magic going here on their 2nd drive. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Richardson back to throw. And that falls incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the gun, Taylor. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. The tackle there by Danielle Hunter. Give him only a couple that time. It's going to be 3rd down. Richardson now. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
You've got to be cognizant of where the line to gain is. You can't run that route short, and you certainly can't throw it. That route's just not deep enough. Needed to extend it closer to the chains for a 1st down.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. So no return on that punt. And it's going to be their football coming up. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Now we get a look at this Texans offense. And they are really starting the season off with a banger of a contest here, Brock. A chance to measure up against a division rival, and this win could be an important one to have in hand in just a few months. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 23. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Jarvarius Ward brings him down.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain. Good defensive tackles in this league, Kate. They can take up a couple blockers. Great defensive tackles, well, they stuffed the stat sheet just like that, knocking that run backwards before it could get started.
Escapes the pocket. He's running for it. It's a gain of 12 there. And it sets up a Houston 1st.
When a play breaks down, every once in a while, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on that ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that one.
Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. Hauled in left side. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Now it's Stroud. To the sideline, Collins brings it in. And a solid gain there, gets him across the 45 before he goes out. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him right. Finding Collins. And they make the stop, we're going to say at about the 37-yard line.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that. Well, once we saw them on a collision course with one another, we know how inertia works. The bigger man, he wins.
Stroud now on 3rd. Complete beyond the marker. And he's stopped at the 31-yard line. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
He'll just huck this one into row C, and some lucky fan is going to haul in a heck of a souvenir. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Staying between the tackles with Mixon. And he's going to get this to the 29 before he stopped. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Gets him on the in route. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22.
I know on the stat sheet, Kate, that shows up as passing yards, but any defensive coordinator will take it. Understanding down and distance and keeping that offense short of the sticks.
Now we get a timeout from the Colts. That's their 1st. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the 1st half. Kaimi Fairbairn out there now to try a field goal for the Texans on this 4th down. This a 39-yarder from the left hash. Everly's kick is good. And that's going to break our tie and give them a 3-point advantage.
Anytime you start sniffing that red zone and you don't score 6, you only come away with 3 points. Not what you were looking for on the call sheet.
This return starts at the 5. He's brought down to end that return as we've reached our 2-minute warning. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap now to Richardson. Connects with his back, Khalil Herbert. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. 2nd and 12 behind the sticks. That's knocked away by a defender, incomplete.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
And he at least gets him some positive yardage, but just a small gain to the 24. Timeout coming from the Texans. That's their first. Another punt coming up for Rigoberto Sanchez. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. Punt meets him at the 28. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Texans and CJ Stroud all set to go for their next drive. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. Stroud throwing here on first. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off Zaire Franklin. And the Colts are going to have it after his 2nd interception of the season.
Going down the middle, as you can see, you're giving them a real chance at making that pick. Might be a case of trying to force one where he shouldn't have. And you're sure hoping as a quarterback you learn your lesson on that one.
Here comes the Colts offense now for another possession. And they're set up well inside of enemy territory. They've got a short field after that pick. They've got first down from the 31. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. He's on the move. He's running with it. And he's stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
As much as you'd like to find a completion and get the ball out of your hands, when a play breaks down, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on his ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that. Gosh, I love how the
now we have a stoppage. No challenges inside of 2 minutes and a half, but the replay official wants to take another look at this on their own. Well, we can see he made the catch. He definitely has possession, but did both of those feet hit down in the end zone?
Yeah, get that zoom button ready to go. Get the magnifying glass. Was there any green right between his feet and that end line? That's what they're going to be looking for in the replay booth.
So upon further review and a consultation from Game Day Central, the call overturned. That one splits the uprights. And the Colts take a 4-point lead. Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. Brings in the kick at the 9. He's brought down to end that return as we've reached our 2-minute warning. The Texans offense getting one final possession before halftime. Not a whole lot of time left for him to put something together here before the break. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. Short pass brought in. Continuing to move past the 45. It's a 33-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
Speed kills, baby. You better make that tackle right away on these receivers or you're going to get some serious yak. Those yards after catch just like that. Taking a short gain and turning it into an explosive play.
And this won't be caught. Clock is going to stop. We've got 14 seconds to go. Couldn't connect on first. It's second down.
Here we go. Let's go.
Shotgun now for Stroud. Throwing the out route complete. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
And he's tackled after gaining a handful. All right, timeout taken by the offense. 5 seconds left, and they can take some points into the locker room on this final play of the half. Everly's kick is good. And that cuts the lead back down to a lone point.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. He takes a knee, and that's going to run out the final couple seconds of half number 1. That brings us to our first halftime of the new season. Now we'll send you east to our studios in Orlando. That's where Jonathan Coachman is waiting to bring you the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a one-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for, with both these teams in it to win it.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Out come the Colts as they've got it to begin the second half. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Taylor gets it to begin the drive. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. That stop coming from Henry To'o. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Before the snap, some early movement. Let's see which side gets tagged with the penalty.
Encroachment, defense.
Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage.
Still 2nd down.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. He's going to push one deep. He's got it inside the 25. It's an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts grow the lead coming out of halftime. There sure was a lot of trust on that play, Brock, and he proved worthy of it with that end result.
Yeah, good old receiver. Someone who just knows how to get it into the end zone is worth his weight in gold to a QB. And on that throw, there was trust there that he had a shot to find pay dirt.
They'll set up here for the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Colts grow their lead to 8. Sanchez has it all set for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Texans and wide receiver Nico Collins ready to go once again. And he has kept his pace up in the second half. His quarterback more than happy to keep throwing it his way, considering what he's been able to do with his looks all game. 1st and 10, a run to Mixon. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Zaire Franklin there to make the tackle. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. On play action, here's Stroud. Finds him on the crossing route. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a 1st down.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Caught him across the line early there. That's an easy call for our officials.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
He thought he had the timing down and could make the play, but just a hair too early.
Still 1st down.
So they'll only need 5 now after that neutral zone infraction penalty. They'll run here following the penalty. And he's brought down for a loss.
Now might be a good spot to remind everybody, about for the 1000th time, how much better athletes these D tackles are today, Kate. A decade or two ago, they just ate up space. Now, they eat up running backs.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That one hits for 30. And the Texans are going to have a first down.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Again, this is Mixon. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. Keeping it with Mixon. And hopefully a bit of a wake-up for their ground game. It's a solid pickup there on the play. 3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Stroud. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown! The Texans start the second half with some needed points. It's a Christian Kirk touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space to work with, yet they have such an awareness to secure it first, to tap dance the line, and go get that touchdown.
Stroud off the play fake. And now down he goes! He's sacked, and they're unable to tie this game! Down 2, they went for the tie right there, partner, but a game defense able to stop them and hang on to this narrow lead.
I don't hate that call, Kate. In fact, this is one of those gray areas. If it's the 4th quarter, that's absolutely the right decision. 3rd quarter, as I said, kind of a gray area where maybe you're chasing points. Either way, you're behind, and your defense now has to rise to the occasion.
The Colts offense set to head out. And they have really woken up after a sluggish opening half, haven't they, Brock? Looks like a whole new team out there. On 1st down, it's Richardson. It's a completion of Michael Pittman Jr. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 36. Hits him on the out route. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. 3 yards there and enough to move the chains. 1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Play action with Richardson. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Shotgun, handoff to Taylor. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. That stop coming from Henry To'o. And the Texans go in nickel coverage, 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
This is one of those cases, Kate, where basketball and football blend together. You know, great zone defenses in basketball. You think about them through the years. They trust one another. They know where they are as defenders on that court. Same thing in coverage. When you trust one another, when you communicate, good things happen. Just like that, you suffocate a pocket because there's nowhere for the quarterback to go.
No return on that punt. And it'll be their football. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. From the gun, Stroud. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Kate, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. couldn't connect on first. It's second down. Back to throw, Stroud. Mechie hauls it in. He gets forward, next about 4 yards. Brought to the ground by Cameron Bynum. They come to the line here, and this is 3rd and 6. To the air yet again, it's Stroud. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
Well, I'll tell you this, Kate, that's where you got to be on the same page with one another and get both ends of the play right to execute, both the protection and ultimately completing that ball. They certainly want that play call back.
And something on the return, but not much, as it still ends inside the 20. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And they'll get ready to go on offense. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Taylor now up the middle. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1. They go again with Taylor. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. Rolling from the pistol, Richardson. Looking right, and he finds him. Ooh, play didn't develop like he needed. He goes out behind the line. This drive in some serious trouble. It's 3rd and 12. Richardson back to throw. Escapes the pocket. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. So out now comes the punter. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he sends this away, definitely his best kick of the game thus far. The return begins on their side of midfield. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The Texans ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. The Texans set up nicely as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Pass complete to Mechie. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. They go play action here. Finds a seam down the middle. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. Now the give to Mixon. And he's brought down after a solid gain on what's going to be the final play of the quarter. We've reached the end of 3 in our Week 1 opener. The Texans have it to start, coming in trailing on the scoreboard. Second and 6 coming up here. From the 21. Connects with Mechie. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. This one's caught. And he drives this forward to the 6. 2nd and 3 now. Running it with Mixon. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. After that play, we see some concern from their guys on the field. And now we know why. One of their best players was hurt on the play and is getting worked on. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. Now it's Stroud. And he's in! Touchdown, Houston! The Texans take a 4th quarter lead. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
This is the time of the game where your legs just get a little bit tired. But that was a determined-looking drive right there. They were not going to be denied, and they're able to score and take the lead.
Fairbairn now for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Texans jump in front now by 5. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. He fields it from the 8. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Now the Indianapolis offense heading out. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. Richardson now on 1st and 10. Bails out of the pocket quick. He tucks it and takes off. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
Well, I can promise you, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked on the chains. It's almost like he had a spidey sense. He knew exactly where to get in order to move the sticks and get that critical 1st down.
Straight ahead with Taylor. And he'll get this through midfield and starts pushing into Texans territory. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Richardson. Go try forcing it to the slant, it's intercepted! And the Texans have it as he records the 1st interception of his young career.
That is just a big-time individual effort, Kate, defensively. First, he takes the ball away, and then he's looking for points, right? He turns from defense to offense, and one more move, and he might have broken it to the house.
Houston's offense back out now and ready to go. And the turnover puts them right back out there. Just a few plays since they scored that touchdown.
Well, they didn't get much time to rest, but guess what, Kate? That defense didn't get much time to rest either. Now you can go in attack mode while they're still shaking off that last touchdown.
Completed to Collins. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun now for Stroud. Into traffic, complete. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. So early movement from the backfield, Brock. They jump the gun a bit, and that brings out the flag.
Ball start. Offense.
So the penalty's going to back him up 5, and in all likelihood, they need to come up with a new play call for 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stroud. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And now a 4th down staring right at him. Kaimi Fairbairn on now as we see how he handles this moment. This is a 55-yard look from the left hash. It's far enough, but does not get the redirect off the upright. It's no good. And their lead will remain unchanged in the 4th.
Obviously, Kate, that miss would have made it a touchdown game. But think of it this way, it's still a touchdown game. But instead of it forcing overtime, now it's going to give them a loss.
So it's good field position for the Colts as they get set 1st and 10. Here's a give to Taylor. And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a 1st down.
2nd down carry for Taylor. And he's going nowhere there. Add that into what's been a tough afternoon for him. 3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Shotgun snap now to Richardson. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And this will fly out of bounds to deny a return. They're going to mark it a little before the 20. The home teams are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They'll begin with a run by Mixon. And their struggles on the ground continue as he's tackled after a small gain. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Now there's the flag. Looks like the jump came from the left side of the line.
Ball start, offense.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. 2nd and 13. Finding Collins. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's Stroud now. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 39. And this one won't be caught, but we got a flag here. Looked like there may have been some early contact before that throw arrived.
Defense.
And it's as we expected, partner. We call pass interference, so put it at the spot and give them that 1st down. Stroud throwing here on 1st. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. And he gets it through the midfield stripe and onto the Colts side of the field. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Here he goes on the bootleg. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll try and run this. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a 1st. He gets 6 on that play, and it sets up a Houston 1st. To the air, Stroud. They did it! He made the interception! Charvarius Ward picks it off. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag for him, partner. He does have the 3 touchdowns in this game, but also now a couple of interceptions.
You almost feel like, Kate, he's seeing most of the picture on how to attack this defense, but just not quite all of it yet. It's largely been good, as he said. Some nice touchdowns as well. But there's still a couple of these looks in coverage that are giving him problems, and he's got to figure that picture out.
The Indianapolis offense ready to take another swing at it. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. That's brought in. It's his back, Jonathan Taylor. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Richardson. This is reeled in by Pittman. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. They get 6 and a 1st down as well. Richardson. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it sets up 2nd down. They'll throw again. Richardson. This one finds Taylor. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. And that takes us to the 2-minute warning in Houston. Colts trailing by 5. They've got first down from the 31. Throwing now, Richardson. Pittman's got it. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. Now we get a timeout from the Colts. That's their first. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. Henry To'o comes up with it. Oh, man, Brock, they decided to air it out in pursuit of a touchdown that time, but it's intercepted, and the visit to the red zone comes up empty.
And that one stings, Kate. It really does. You have a limited opportunity of looks in that close, particularly as we get through the second half. But once you get, you have to finish with points.
This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. That defensive stand might have been the final effort needed to seal away the victory, Brock, but can't quite take off the pads just yet. Offense has to finish this one out.
Yeah, a few things here, Kate, to keep in mind, right? You got to slow the game down as a quarterback. Take every second off the clock. If you're handling the ball, you guard it with your life, and you make sure your defense doesn't come on the field again. They just did their job. Now you got to do yours.
It's Mixon on 2nd down. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. The Colts take a timeout. That's their last one. 1 yard, all that's needed. This is 3rd and inches. On the ground again with Mixon. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You felt it the second this play bounced toward the outside, this defense responded. They pounced. That was their chance to get to him before he could get the couple inches he needed for a 1st down.
They'll send out the punting unit. And he's only a handful of yards from his own goal line. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Colts will take over. They're set up at the 35 now. Back to throw. Taken in by Pierce. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Colts operating from the hurry-up, rushing back to the line. And Willie, no, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up 3rd down.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
Desperation time here on 4th. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. They take a knee and their season has begun exactly how they wanted it to, with a win.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So it's the Texans who defend their building and take the win. And this isn't just any 1-0 start for them. They pick up what could end up being a key division victory to have later in this season. Well, that'll do it for us, for Brock Heward and our entire hard-working crew. I'm Kate Scott. This has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans, as we'll see you next time from Houston.